Alright guys, this video is just going to be an update on what's happening with my railroad job, basically. Yeah, so basically, I'm in arbitration. I had a lady call me from the railroad, and basically she said that she looked into our case, and that the president of the company told her or asked her to look into our case. So she looked into our case, supposedly, and she said she talked to some arbitrators and some people, whatever. Anyways, and then she said that all the people she spoke with, and because the Mojave subdivision where I work is the most dangerous for the railroad, apparently, which I don't get it, because we haven't had a death on our line in a while, or as far as I know, since I've been there, and I've heard of deaths, people getting ran over by the trains and blah 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 all over the place. But anyways, besides that point, yeah, so she left me a big old long message saying she talked to this person, that person, and they're sticking with their decision of termination, with their decision that they made, blah blah blah. So I freaked out, like, what? You know, just got real irritated, like anybody probably would, and started making some phone calls, tried calling her back, because she left me a voicemail. You know, she called me on a direct number, so I called her back, left her a voicemail stating, I don't get it. I don't get how you guys come up to this decision, blah blah blah. It doesn't make sense. At this point, you know, I told her, I said, at this point it's wrongful termination because you guys went against your policies and procedures that you guys put in place for corrective actions, blah blah blah. And I said, I don't know what to do next. Can you call me back? Or do I just go through the union? Whatever. And or do I need to see a lawyer and sue the railroad for wrongful termination because you guys went against the policies and procedures? Never got a call back, never nothing. Then all of a sudden, well, I called my union rep before I called her back. So he called me back, like he never does. So I'm assuming they probably got my message and then called him and told him to call me. But anyway, so he calls me back and he tells me, hey, don't you blah blah blah. He's like, what's going on? So I tell him what's going on. Lady called me, message, whatever. And he said, she's not allowed to even call you. He's all, at this point, it's becoming harassment. They're harassing you, blah, blah. He said, save the voicemail, download it to your disk, on your phone. So I did that. And he's all, is there any way you could send it to me so I can hear it? And so I tried to send it to him, and it's just too long of a message to send to him, and I'm not going to, send him my card or whatever. Anyways, so he's like, don't worry about it. He's all, they're not allowed to call you. It's not their decision. He's all, that's because the other guy that got me fired, because of that dummy, he wrote the president a letter. The president of arbitration a letter, the president of the railroad a letter, and the president of the union a letter. Actually, his wife did, stating blah 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 blah. Anyways, that's what the call was about, is regarding a letter submitted on my behalf, and they're gonna look into it. Basically, it was try to get us back for leniency, and the railroad said no. So anyways, the union rep said, don't worry about it. It's, we got a good solid case because, stuff happens. There was 3 guys the week that she called me that week on a Monday. She called me on a Thursday, and that Monday 3 guys were welding, doing a weld on a track in a yard with no lookout, no protection, no track time, nothing, and they didn't even have a fire score printed out. They're supposed to do a fire risk assessment where you take the temperature, humidity, area, all this stuff. It's supposed to be a big old thing, and if you have a high score, you call a big boss, a director, and he has to approve it. Anyway, so they didn't even have one of those filled out. So, yeah, anyways, so I told him about the union guy about that, and he's like, no, you guys got a solid case. He's like, I wouldn't worry about it. You just got to wait for it to go through arbitration, which he already submitted the letter. So, anyways, that's where I stand. That's where we're at. We're just waiting for our ticket, so-called, to be drawn. And then once our ticket gets drawn, the arbitration, the neutral, as he calls it, because they have no ties to the railroad, which I don't believe. But anyways, so once they pull our name, pull our docket, they look at our case, they look at everything, and he said basically we're going after them because they have no standards. So why can a manager, in our transcript, why can a manager get in trouble and go to MAPS class, or get in trouble and just get a certain punishment, and we couldn't? And that's basically what we're going off of, is that there's no standards in the railroad that I work for or worked for. So anyways, the biggest thing that I'm irritated with is all these new guys. They're getting all these seniority dates. So, you have to put a bid in, and if you qualify, your qualifications are higher than somebody else's, or you have more seniority than them, then whoever basically has the most qualifications and the highest seniority gets that job. So, and then you get to go wherever on the railroad with that job title. So you get to keep that job title forever as long as you stay, all your qualifications are up to standard. So anyways, all these guys, new guys, are getting all these dates, as they call them, these seniority dates, and I'm not getting anything. So it's going to be irritating, because these new guys that started with me and newer guys are going to have 10 plus seniority dates, and I'm going to be go back to work, and I'm only going to have 4 seniority dates. So that's kind of what I'm irritated about. So after I'm just focusing on getting back to work, getting back to the railroad, and then once I get back, then I'm going to start fighting for all of those dates and say, hey, I qualified higher than so-and-so, I want that date because you guys fired me, wrongfully. So anyways, that's what I'm going to try to go after. But in the meantime, I'm making tons of stupid money. I'm able to get projects done, like the kids' truck, able to buy stuff, that I couldn't buy, like tools and stuff, whatever, that I've been wanting to buy, so it's kind of a good thing that it's happened. So I'm actually going back, today's Sunday, so I'll go back to Colorado Tuesday, and I already have whatever invoices I need to fill out or print out and then turn in, and so when I get back, it's a $2,600 check. So I'm making money, more money, way more money than the railroad, but for how long, who knows. So that's why I'm not going to stick to that job in Colorado or the business that I started, just for the simple fact that it's just a bubble. The bubble's going to pop. So I'm just going to milk it until I get back to the railroad. And if I don't go back to the railroad and have to sue or do whatever, I'll just keep working out there. But for the meantime, that's what I'm doing. That's where I'm going. So Tuesday, I'll be heading out there, and then Wednesday I'll probably just hang out at my brother's house, and then Thursday I'll go back to work, turn my invoices in, Friday get paid, and then blah blah blah. But it sucks because I'm away from the family and I'm away from all my stuff and all my projects that I have to do because it's tons and tons of projects that I have to do. I have to do disc brake conversion on my Dodge. The kid wants a rear disc brake conversion on his Dodge. I have a yard that's a mess with pine needles. It's just, it'll never end. But anyways, that's the update. Alright guys, like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Bye.